Hello students, welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. In this video, we are going to see one of the very important concept of anthropology. In our anthropology in paper 1, we have one chapter related to ecological anthropology. This ecological anthropology deals about how human will be adapted to the new environment. Why we have to understand about the human's adaptability to environment? As you know, humans they evolved from apes, and during this process of evolution of human from apes, they came up with lots of different climatic changes. And in that climatic changes, how human adapted, that we can understand if you understand this ecological anthropology. And not only that, if you see humans in India, humans in Africa, humans in America, they will not look alike. There are some biological changes. Why? Because the process in which humans adapted to this environment is different compared to that of India. The people had different adaptations to environment in Africa, and same with this people who are in Europe, America, etc. Because of this, sometimes we can see humans who are very short, who are very long, whose skin color is light, whose skin color is dark, everything because of this adaptation to environment that we are going to understand in this chapter of ecological anthropology. In your syllabus, they gave three important things under the chapter. So what are the three important things? We have to understand how humans adapted to high altitude climate, because even today we can see some tribes who are living on this hilly regions, especially if you go to Himalayan states and even in the northeastern part of our India, and even in this Western Ghats region we can see lots of tribes who are living at this high altitude, and we have to see how, which kind of adaptations they had been faced. And next one is, I want to say one important thing which is very unique for one tribe, that is called as Mongpa tribe. They live in this Himalayan region. Actually, they are very famous for hanging coffins because they adapted to that environment. Because of that, they will not go for digging of soil and to keep that dead body or burial in that. So they'll keep the dead body in that wooden box and they'll hang to the cliff of the mountains. So if you want to understand that kind of interesting things related to tribes, you need to know how humans got adapted to that so and so environment. So in your syllabus, we have adaptation to high altitude, and this one is adaptation to cold climate, and even adaptation to heat. In this video, I am going to discuss about adaptation to high altitude. Okay, whenever we are talking about adaptation to the environment, we have to know about two important terms. What are the two terms? First one is acclimatization, and second word is adaptation. What is the difference between these two words? That is very important. For example, for a tour, if we plan to go to any hill station, for the first time we are going to that place for a tour for limited time period. It is for temporary purpose, like for 3 to 4 days or 5 days or 1 week. We have planned a trip and we are going to this high altitude hill stations. At that time, whenever we reach that place, in our body we can see some changes, and our body will try to adapt to that new environment, and these changes are temporary. When we come back to our home, again everything will be normalized. That kind of adaptation for temporary purpose, whenever our body react immediately to that new environment, that changes are called as acclimatization. Okay, so this is the meaning of acclimatization. Then what is the meaning of adaptation? You shifted to a new place and you started living in that new environment, and not only your generation, your next generation together, everyone is settled there. Means whatever the permanent changes that you can see in your body, not only in your generation, if you're passing that changes to the next generation, then those are called as adaptation. Clear? I hope you understood what is the meaning of acclimatization and adaptation. Acclimatization is for temporary purpose. and this adaptation is a permanent change, and even that changes can be passed to next generation. Okay, even that changes can be passed to next generation. Okay, those are called as adaptation. Even that can be passed to next generation. Okay, now I'll tell you one example. To understand this concept, let us take one high altitude place. This is Earth's surface, and now we are going to this hill station and we are going to stay here. Immediately as soon as you enter to that high altitude, what happened? Here again you have to interlink with geography concept. What is geography? At the Earth's surface, we have good gravitational force and we have high density of air. High density of air at this surface, Earth's surface. And we have thick blanket of air at this surface. That means we have more oxygen availability. More oxygen availability at this surface. But if you go to the top of that hill or mountain, what happens? Less availability of oxygen. Why less availability? Here we can see air is thin and density of air is also less here. That means if you are climbing up the hill or a mountain, you can get less oxygen there. Because of this, whenever any climber who wants to climb a mountain, they will carry oxygen cylinders. Why? Because there is less oxygen there, so that whatever the oxygen required for your body to function, you may not get that. And even pressure is very less there. So because of this, sometimes what happens? The blood vessels may burst, and that will lead to nose bleeds and as well as bleeds from your ear because of this low pressure. Okay, so whenever you are going to that kind of new environment, first of all your body will try to adapt. Okay, adapt to that situation temporarily. Then that is called as acclimatization. If you're staying here for many years, from centuries onwards, your forefathers, your grandfathers and your generation, and what happened? You will get permanent changes in your body. These are called as adaptations, and those will be carried to the next generation. Okay, and now let us see what happens initially whenever your body is getting habituated to that new environment. First one is the respiratory rate increases. Whenever you're going to that high altitude place, you have to breathe more. Like this, you will try to breathe more. That is called as respiratory rate. Whenever the respiratory rate increases, what happens? The air you take in or breathe in will be more, so that you will get oxygen which is required for your body. And next one is erythropoietin. Your kidney will produce erythropoietin. So this is very important for your RBC production. So if more erythropoietin is produced by the kidneys, more RBC production will happen. And this RBC, what is the function of this RBC? It will carry oxygen to the different parts of your body. So it will carry oxygen to the different parts of the body. And next what happens is, there will be increased blood volume. Around 20 to 30% of your blood volume will be increases. If your blood volume is increased, that will lead to increased angiogenesis process. Angio means nothing but it is related to blood vessels. There will be formation of new blood vessels in your body. That will lead to the carrying of more and more oxygen to the body parts. And next one is, obviously there will be increased hemoglobin level in the body at that time. And next one is, why all these changes happens in your body? Whatever the amount of oxygen you are getting in that place, you will try to use that oxygen efficiently. For that reason, these are the immediate changes which happens in your body. And now let us see what are the permanent changes that happens in the body of the people who habituated to live in this high altitude regions. First one is, their body size will be reduced. We have two principles called as Allen's rule and as well as Bergman's rule. So these rules mainly says that people who are living in this high altitude and the cold climate, their body size will be reduced. People who are living in these hot areas, their body size will be increased. So here what happened in the long run, the body size of these people will be reduced in the next generations. And next one is, and one more important concept you have to see here is, we have one principle called as normal lapse rate. In your geography, you will come across this concept of normal lapse rate. What this normal lapse rate says is, if you're moving 1 kilometer away from the Earth's surface, there will be 6.5 degrees centigrade of decrease in temperature. So what this normal lapse rate says, if you are moving 1 kilometer away from this Earth's surface, there will be change of temperature of 6.5 degrees centigrade. Okay, I'll apply this. For example, at Earth's surface, the temperature is 30 degrees. For example, if you are moving 1 kilometer high, then what will be temperature? 30 minus 6.5 is around 23.5 degrees centigrade. And if you are moving 1 more kilometer up, then 23.5 minus 6.5 degrees, it will be around 17 degrees centigrade. So like that, what happens? The temperature will be reducing if you are moving from Earth's surface to height. Okay, so if you are present at this region, what happened? Obviously, temperature will be low compared to that of this Earth's surface temperature. Then what happens if your nasal root is long? Normally, I think you might have seen some people with sharp nose. Some will be having like the short nose. Okay, whenever you are having this long nose, what happens? The air will be staying more time in this nasal root, right? And actually in this area we have temperature which is low, and even what happened, that air will be dry. Yes, if you are present at this area, we can see on the Earth's surface, air will be present. Air will be having this humidity. But if you go up, temperature is low and air will be dry. If you are breathing dry air, it will hurt your nasal root. So because of this, there will be shortening of the nose will be happen, and even normally nostrils will be there in the downwards. But the people who live in this hilly regions, their nostrils will be seen on the upwards. Okay, so because of this, we have different nose indices which we can calculate for the people. Okay, so that is the one reason. It is based on the environment where they are living. If they live on the Earth's surface, their nostril will be there in the inside. But if they are living on this hilly regions, the nostrils will be there on the upside. Okay, don't comment anyone if you see that kind of people. Okay, it is based on entirely where they are living. And next one is chest size. They will breathe more and more. Their respiratory rate increased. Because of this, their chest size will be also increased. And not only that, even the lung size will be increased. And next one is size of the heart will be also increased, because heart has to pump very fast, because our cell required oxygen continuously. If size of heart is less, it will pump less amount of blood. So here the requirement of oxygen is more for the cells. Because of this, the heart should pump the blood fastly. So there will be increased size of heart also. And next one here is hemoglobin will be binding with the blood, and our blood will be carrying this hemoglobin. So there will be increased capacity of binding of hemoglobin with the blood. And this one is one important negative impact we can see here is the size of the babies will be reduced if the people who are living in this hilly regions, because they will not get enough oxygen. Okay, and they cannot share this oxygen with the baby properly. So because of this, the size of the babies will be less for the people in this hilly regions. So these are the temporary changes and permanent changes commonly seen in people in this high altitude regions. In our actual class, we are going to discuss lots of examples, and I'll show you videos, and I'll tell you lots of interesting facts regarding these tribes who are living in these hilly regions. Okay, and our anthropology batch is going to be started from August 3rd, 2026, guys. And the details of this course is we are going to have 3.5 to 4 months of duration of this course. Every day we'll be having 2.5 hours of class, and the class will be normal in the evening timings. And we are providing this course both on online and also offline. And I will be dealing with entirely with paper 1 and as well as paper 2. I'll not call any other faculty to deal with that. And the students who are from non-science background, don't get afraid of this anthropology. It is very simple. It is based on the faculty, how they'll teach you. Okay, I'm a doctor and I'm a gold medalist. I'll teach every concept of biology from the basic so that you will be not having any doubt regarding any concept of anthropology. I'll be giving you that assurance. And there will be daily answer writing practice. On every Saturday, there is weekly test. And I'll provide you the concise material for paper 1 and as well as paper 2. Along with that, I'll also going to provide you PYQs of last 40 years based on that topic, and also I'll be providing you the blueprint of anthropology, guys. Okay, so that you can identify how and which topic can be asked in the next year. Okay, that's all, guys. If you want to join this course, please do contact us on this number 8074765513, and already admissions are going on. Please try to book your slot as soon as possible, guys. That's all. I wish you all the best, and I wish we are going to meet in the class soon. Thank you so much.